We are almost getting to go live. And yes, we are live. Over to you, Tilotama ma'am.
Thank you, Panindra sir. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tilotama. Welcome to day 4 and webinar 7 of the Changemakers Winter Camp. My co-anchor today is Tanvi S. Tanvi is in class 6 of Air Force School, Hebbal. Her prototype, called Exquisite, was in the top 100 teams in Tinkerpreneur 2023. Also, she herself is in the 15th position of the top Tinkerpreneurs this year. May I now request Tanvi to introduce Ms. Pooja Salman, who is our speaker today. Tanvi?
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. This session will be led by Ms. Pooja Salvan. Pooja ma'am has an MBA in Marketing and Leadership and Change Management from the Indian School of Business. She has completed her post-graduation in International Business from Sriram College of Commerce and has studied marketing from New York University. She is self-driven sales professional with 15 years of e-commerce experience. She has extensive international exposure in business development and retail. She is skilled in sales, negotiation, management, multi-channel marketing, and business development. Pooja ma'am has worked with many reputed organizations like Agio.com, Reliance Retail, Home Shop 18, in Things, General Motors India, Sumangalam Polytechs, etc. As category head, marketing manager, and brand manager, she enjoys working in environments which are dynamic, flexible, and multidisciplinary. She found the Blue Ribbon Academy. She recently joined BML Munjal University as the Deputy Director, Women Leadership. She is also a mentor of change associated with the Atal Innovation Mission, Niti Aayog, Government of India. Before I hand over the session to Pooja ma'am, I would like to make a few points. If you have any questions during the session, please type them in the Zoom or YouTube chat window. We will take up your questions at the end of the webinar. I also request the participants to mark their attendance in the Google form. The link will be shared shortly. The form will be open only in the duration of this session. Those who attend the session will receive a participation certificate at the end of this winter camp. And now, without further ado, let me invite Pooja ma'am to start this session.
Thank you so much, Tanvi, for introducing me. And I am really impressed that you are one of the top tinkerpreneurs. So, all the best and congratulations to be there. You are pretty young for what you've achieved. Great. You have certainly great mentors. Okay, before I start, a lot of you would have attended the previous summer workshops, summer camp organized by Tinkerpreneur AIM. And you have seen me talking about how it is important to have good communication skills, how it is important to have confidence, to be able to develop a product and also to sell it. So today, again, I'm going to ask you, what are the main components of selling? Anybody? You can write in the chat or you can raise your hands, please. Yes, Atharv.
I think the main components of selling a thing is that what the customer desires and what's wanted by a more number of people in the market.
Awesome. Rudra? Rudra? And please have your videos on. That's very important because it's an interactive session. It'll be great if you have your videos on. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I have the same kind of ideas that Atharva said. But one thing that I have to add is presentation.
Okay, great. Yeah. Stebrin? Stebrin, you're muted even now.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, one of the key components of selling is, ma'am, that we should make a presentation about that how should we sell our item, and we should show that we understand the requirements what the customer wants, and we should fulfill their needs according to them.
Great, great job, Stebrin, Atharv, and Rudra. Okay, I'll take one last and then we'll start and I'll give others a chance in the next round. Okay, Rashmi.
Okay.
Hi, ma'am.
Yes.
So, I'm Rashmeet here. So, the key component for selling a product is basically what desire your customer want and how you present it at the right time so that the customer can take that thing or at their reasonable prices as well.
Great. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. All of you are bang on that yes, we need to know what the customer wants and accordingly present the product to them. And presentation is important. I hope you all can see my presentation. Okay, great. Yes, it is important that we give to the customer what he or she desires, and our products are good quality, they are good, they're well presented, and that's what's going to make it sell, right? So today, I want to talk about how you can do that, how you can make a product which a customer really, really wants. And that's by listening. Of course, the presentation and what the customer wants, you will be communicating all that. But what the customer really wants will come through listening. If I'm saying that I don't really like rasgulla, and so you've listened to what I don't like, but you have to understand what I like. And that is only going to happen if you really listen to why I don't like rasgulla. And then you make something alternate. Maybe I like rasgulla hot, but people don't eat rasgulla hot. So what are the things which I need? And that only happens if I listen. Yes? So as a product developer, as somebody who is innovating, you really need to listen to the customers. You need to listen to people who are giving you feedback. It can be in the class as a teacher, it can be a mentor, anybody. Focusing on listening is very, very important. So today we will talk about what is effective communication, how will listening help you to develop a good product, and how to be a good listener. So we will talk about what you think is a good listener and what really goes into being a good listener. And practical aspects to keep in mind while communicating with mentors or anybody who's helping you, your clients or anybody. And how to synthesize ideas from different people and make a good product. Okay? And if you have any questions, please write it down and we will take it at the end. I am trying to keep it short so that I can talk to you and we can solve your queries. Okay? Okay, before we start this, I have a question. Let's see if you all are listening to me or not. Once there was a couple who lived in a circular round house with their kids. And they had a butler, they had a maid, and they had a gardener. One day, after a whole day of celebration with their kids, they were going out to meet their friends in the evening. And they kissed their kids goodbye and locked the house and went out. But when they came back, they saw that the kids were kidnapped. They called the police and police interrogated everybody. The gardener said he was watering the plants. The butler said he was cleaning the books. And the maid said she was cleaning the corners of the house. The police caught somebody. Who did the police catch? And why do you think the police caught that person? Okay. So Stebrin, I'll have to pass you because you've already answered, but let's go to Nabhya. Nabhya?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, that is because the house was circle and in a circle has no corners.
So who did they catch?
Ma'am, the maid.
The maid. Great job. See, all of you were very focused on listening to me now. None of you was distracted. You were just listening to me because you wanted to solve this issue, solve this problem, right? Observing and listening go hand in hand, and it will really help you if you give this kind of focus in anything you're doing, be it in class or outside. Okay? Why good listening is important for your ideas, your plans, your business. I know a lot of you have been hearing about how innovation happens, how to take your innovation from just a mind, just an idea to the real product. And I will quickly spend a second in that. Focus on the user, which you all know by now. Think 10x, which Google uses. They don't say that we will try to do an incremental change or make the product better by only 10%. They say how we can make a product better by 10x. But how do they do that? They do that by listening to their customers, focusing on their users, what they really want. And I will give you more ideas as to why listening is important. Of course, it will help you to understand your customers' needs. It will help you change their mind. Okay. And not only your customers, but also maybe your parents. If you're asking them for something and they're not willing to accept your ask, you have to see why they are saying it. What do they really want? Do they want you to study for X number of hours or finish something and then they can give it to you? It'll help you to be a better negotiator. So try it. Try listening to your teachers, to your mentors, to your parents, and you will find a solution to every issue you have. What do you think? Do you think that can help? Do you think that is something which will work if you really listen to them? Yes? Yeah, I see Sai saying yes. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
great. So when we say, are you a good listener? It is not that you are just staying silent and listening to whoever is speaking, or you nod your head in in saying yes, I agree with you, or you ask questions. These are not the only things which will help you to show to the other person that you're listening. You know why? Because human brain tends to lose focus. So a lot of you right now must be listening to me. But in some time, you will start thinking, oh, tomorrow, these are holidays. Tomorrow, I can ask my dad that I want to do this. Or, oh, how fun it was that when we went to school for Christmas, we had a Santa there. There are so many things which are going on in our minds, and we really have to think how to get back. Mujhe nahi padna, yes. What do you have to say? Funny sir, can you unmute Mujhe nahi padna? That person has something to say. Okay. So do you know we have we in the evening, we in the night when we sleep, we dream, but we also daydream, and we do it 2000 times approximately, which means you really have to get back yourself and focus on what the other person is saying, because that's going to help you to become better. Yes? Okay. This is my favorite slide because I want you to, all of you, to think and write in the chat barriers to effective listening. Is it distractions like phone, like social media, Instagram, or like YouTube, like PS4 or Nintendo or Wii? What is it which distracts you when you are listening to somebody? Or is it that, when you come, you're like, oh, I am not going to understand this, or this is something I know this person always talks like this. So you come with a preconceived notion and you are like, I am already set. I have a closed mind and I will not change my opinion. I want to have a green t-shirt and this is why I want a green t-shirt. And you will not listen to anybody's reasoning for that. Sometimes also what happens is, let's say I'm giving you an idea and you're like, oh, this sparks another idea in my head. And before the speaker can finish what he or she is trying to tell you, you are like, listen to my idea first. Does that happen to you? And what happens is that the speaker has some chain of thought and they are not able to process it and give it to you because you're already having so many ideas and you're bubbling with joy that I want to give those ideas out first. Please listen to me. And I don't want to listen to you. You are like interrupting when the speaker is speaking. Yes? Does that happen? Okay, let me see. Let's do a quick check. Please write in the chat what you think hinders your attention to listening. Is it that you are hooked on to TV and your mom is calling you and you're not able to listen? Or when you're having a conversation in the class, or when your mentor is telling you something, you have so many ideas going in your mind that you don't want to listen to them, or it doesn't occur to you. Okay, let us see what is people saying in chat. Background noises, mobile phones, okay, YouTube, daydreaming, holidays, talking so much in the class. Actually, you're right. So that's distraction, right? Tanmay, what is your thought? What makes you not listen to what is being said in the class or the mentor?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
No, ma'am. It's working. Huh. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, please continue.
Yeah, Tanmay Pandey. I can't hear you, Tanmay.
Is it audible?
Yeah, I
Is
can
it
see.
audible? Okay, so ma'am, I can think that hinders while I was in class and I have so many doubts. The thing is, something called embarrassment is there. Like if I'm wrong, then how do I speak it? Means that scariness of embarrassment already comes to my mind.
Yeah. So then that means you're not listening to your teacher or your mentor because you are thinking, if I have this question, but if I ask that question, my friends, my peers might think that, oh, he doesn't know that, or what a silly question to ask. And that just shuts our mind out, right?
Yes, ma'am. That's a problem also.
Yes. But you need to have that confidence. You will be surprised when you ask a question, however silly it might sound to you. One, your mentor or your teacher really appreciates that you are taking that step to become wiser. It's one step wiser because you've asked the question and you're getting an answer. And your friends, a lot of them will say, thank God he asked me that, he asked that question because I also was feeling very shy to ask that question. So
Yes, ma'am.
So it
And
happens a lot. Yeah,
sometimes already happened already.
it's already happened. So you need to be more confident. You need to ask questions which you think will help not only you, but your friends too. Do not think they might laugh, but they're not laughing because you're asking a silly question. They might be laughing at themselves that, look, he has the confidence to ask this question. And you know what? You will only be able to ask a question which is relevant if you're listening properly. If you're not listening, you will be asking some random questions and then obviously everybody will laugh. Teacher is talking about some concept in physics and you are talking about some basic concept which you maybe read in a class 3-4 years earlier, that will not help. Yes? So your confidence in yourself, confidence will only come if you're really, really listening. Right now, all of you I know are listening to me. And even if you are daydreaming, you are trying to catch your mind and come back and listen to what I'm saying. Because you know that these things are happening with you. You are getting distracted by social media, by TV, by phone, you're playing video games on the phone, or you're chatting with your friends. And these are all ways of distraction which you need to avoid so that whatever you're learning from anyone, it helps you. So if a client is saying, is just going on saying something that she doesn't like this, she doesn't like that, there will be one line which she will say in the middle of the whole rambling, which will be so important for your product, that if you were listening to her carefully, you will know that this is something I need to do. Yes? Okay. Okay, now let's see, Tanmay, how to be a good listener. Non-verbal signs, how to show interest. Yes, your body should be a little forward when you're listening. Like right now, I can totally feel that Tanmay is listening to what I'm saying. Yeah, Tanmay, am I right? Nodding, when you nod, even if you don't speak anything and you nod, I know that you're listening. And that is why I prefer that everybody has their videos on, because then I come to know whether you're listening or not. And then maintaining eye contact, because if I know that you're looking at me, I at least know somewhere that you are listening to me. And if your eyes suddenly glaze, I know that you've gone in the daydreaming aspect. That spectrum is different when you're daydreaming. If sometimes you'll feel that, when you are talking to your friends and one of them is looking somewhere like this and he's not listening to you or she's not listening to you, that's because they're daydreaming. They're imagining what you are saying and they have completely gone off. So there are few signs to show people who are talking to you, who are explaining you things, if you that you're listening to them by these non-verbal signs. Yeah. Now I'll talk about the verbal signs. How by talking you can show to the person that you are really, really listening. Positive reinforcement, which means that you say, oh yes, even I feel like that. Oh yes, I agree with you. Or paraphrasing. So like I have told you something, now if I ask you to repeat, you're able to repeat it not in the same manner, but at least you're able to summarize it and are able to tell me that. Yes, Tanmay? Now, okay, I will not pick on Tanmay alone. Let's pick up somebody else. What do you think? Let's pick up Green Niharika. Would you like to join the conversation? Yes? So what did I tell you about non-verbal signs?
Niharika,
Ma'am,
please.
positive body language.
Yes. So tell me, when you say positive body language, can you tell what you heard or what you understood?
Like something which, like some body language which shows disrespect or anger.
Yeah, the other way around. So you have to, for positive body language means that you are not disrespecting other by, let's say, if you are talking to me and I am like looking like this, you might, I might say, look, Niharika, I'm listening to you, but you're not feeling that, right? Because I have put my face like this, my body also like this, and I'm thinking of something else. So that is what positive body language entails, that you really show to the other person by your body also that you're really listening to them. Yes. There are times when you're sitting like this and the teacher is talking to you and you think you are listening to them, but the teacher doesn't feel it. The teacher feels that you are doing something else. Has it happened to you guys that you are really listening to the teacher, but teacher is like, you are not listening to me? Does that happen to you? Yes, Sumit, Bhalke, Harshit, does it happen to you? Rajiv?
Yes, ma'am. It has
Yes.
happened to me.
Yeah, that's because your body language is not showing to the teacher, your mentor, that you are listening. So you need to sit straight, you need to make an eye contact, you need to nod wherever the teacher or the listener or the talker is. Okay? You can't be scribbling or you can't be on the side so that the other person who's talking, he or she might feel that, you know what, he's getting bored or he's not even listening to me. Why am I talking? Yes? Okay. Third is asking specific and relevant questions. And fourth, asking open-ended questions. Now, can somebody tell me what are open-ended questions? Okay, I see Saiba.
Yes,
Okay.
Kavya, please proceed.
Yes, ma'am. I think that open-ended questions are like the questions which one need thinks about and
Kavya, your voice was breaking. I couldn't understand you.
uh,
Okay.
ma'am,
No.
Chetan, please unmute
Yeah,
yourself.
Chetan. Yeah.
Ma'am, it's open-end questions are like just asking directly to the second person or the direct speaker.
Okay. Harshit, what do you understand by open-ended questions?
Ma'am, open-ended questions are the question asked to the second person of any other topic, not at the same topic, which
Okay.
are connected between the talking and other topic.
Okay, I agree with Vishal because Vishal is also saying no, it's not the answer. Okay, Vishal Kumar.
Arna,
Yes, sir.
yeah, you can share
Um,
your thoughts.
Ma'am,
open-ended questions are like questions that you can't answer with yes or no, but where the person who's answering the question has to kind of deliberate on it. Like instead of asking, was your day nice? You can ask like, what did you do today? Like that.
Yeah, fantastic. Yes, that's the answer. That's the answer I was looking for. Open-ended questions are not a yes or a no question. They make you think about it. They make the person who's being asked the question think about it, and then the conversation keeps going. Great, great job, Arna. So I have given examples here. Uh, please have a read. I'll be back in a second. Okay. So let's go to the last one. We are talking about a decision. And if I say, is that all you need from me? So question will be either yes or no, right? But if I ask you, how can I help? Right? You need to think. Yeah, Bhupender. Bhupender? Funny sir, can you
Yeah,
mute Bhupender?
Bhupendra, please unmute yourself. Yeah,
Okay.
Sumit, go ahead.
Yeah, Sumit.
Sai Gopal, you can unmute yourself and give the answer.
Okay. So most basically open-ended question, the 5 Ws. Who knows the 5 Ws? Okay, Arna or Riza, let's hear the 5 Ws from you.
Mom, may I say?
Yes, sure, go ahead.
What, where, why, how, and when.
That's right. Yeah, so 5 Ws and H will help you to make the questions open-ended. Okay? You don't have to say, did that make you angry? Then it will be a yes or no. But how did that make you feel will make you think, right? Okay, let's ask Shreyas. Shreyas, if I ask you, are you enjoying this session? What will be your answer? Shreyas Mishra? Shivangi? Shivangi, you can unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah. Hi.
Yes, ma'am, I'm enjoying the session very much.
Yes. So see, this is a close-ended question because she can't, I mean, unless she is a person who loves to engage, she will just say yes and she will stop. But if I ask Shivangi, what did this session, what is the most memorable thing in this session? She will have to give an answer. So let's ask Shivangi, what is the most memorable thing of this session?
Shivangi, please unmute yourself. Yeah, Shivangi, you can speak now.
Ma'am, to know about many things in the session,
Like?
like what is listener,
Okay, go on.
What are 5 Ws,
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you, Shivangi. Now let's listen. Let's hear from Nitish.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, the same question then, ma'am, about how we should listen and types of questions like open-ended questions and the correct way to respond when we are a listener.
Okay. So great, great. So are you understanding how open-ended question is different from a closed-ended questions? Open-ended question is the 5 Ws and 1 H. And if you use that with your mentors, it will be great because you will learn so much more from them. Yes? Okay. So while communicating with your mentors and evaluators, keep away the receiver bias. Receiver bias is that I already know all these things. Tell me something different. Do not think like that because you have one mindset. You will not listen or you will not learn anything new. Only if you have an open mind, you will be able to learn a lot of things, different things, and be open to the feedback, be open to what they're saying. Yes? And don't be in a hurry to respond. Listen. Don't start thinking, okay, this is what he or she is saying. This is my answer to this. Listen to whatever your mentor, your evaluator, your teacher, or even your parents are saying. Listen to them and then think of your response. Don't start thinking of your responses when they are talking because that will hinder your listening. Yes? Okay. And when they have given you ideas and you have been a good listener, then what happens? That's the time if you have really listened to all of them. So let's say you have 5 or 6 mentors and you've listened to all of them, then you'll be able to make the bridge of those ideas. Take notes. It's very important that when your teacher, your mentor, anybody is explaining something to you, take notes. We are all humans. We have millions of ideas in our mind going on. We will not remember. 2 months down the lane, you will not remember what I said in this presentation if you have not taken notes. Listen carefully because that's important. Stop yourself from all distractions. If you have your phone, keep in your bag or keep it in the other room so that you don't get distracted. Ask intelligent questions. And how will that happen? Only if you're listening. And don't rush to offer your opinion. As I said, that you have to listen and then formulate your thoughts and clarify if you didn't understand. So there are so many times your teacher tells you something and you don't ask. How somebody just said that, I don't want to ask because I think I will look like a fool or my friends will laugh at me. Well, that's going to happen if you don't ask intelligent questions. But if you're listening, there is no way that you will not come across as a smart kid. And if you clarify what you've not understood, it will help you to get the answer, which will help you to make the bridge of ideas. Bridge of ideas for your product. If you are putting something for your Tinkerpreneur championship, it will help you to form a good idea, good bridge for your exams also. Your exams are what, 3 months or 4 months down the line? If you start working on it by listening to your teachers and start making notes, you will be surprised how well you will do in these exams. Okay. Quiz. Tilotma, can you please share the link with them? And
Yes, ma'am. Right now?
you will do it later? That's fine. Yeah, we can do
Okay.
it later. Let's see how much they've retained then.
So we'll do it now?
We'll do it later.
Fine.
But let's take some questions. Tanmay, yes, please go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
So my question is, whenever someone is interrupting in between every session, due to which we cannot properly concentrate in the topic that is being explained to us. So how to get rid of the interaction and we can increase our concentration on that?
Oh, that's a very good question. Yes, there are some kids in the class who always think that, they have to ask a question which is relevant or not relevant. You might go to the teacher separately in private and ask her or him that, this disturbs the class a lot and we're not able to focus. And maybe he or she will have an answer to that. Maybe that student, they might tell that student to get the questions for later. That might help. Yes? Okay, let's hear Samiraj. Samiraj, can you unmute yourself? Samiraj and then Mridul, okay?
Mom, it's like we're asking someone feedback, anyone from a mentor, it can be our parents and anyone. And everyone has a different feedbacks. And so to, make as you told, to make a good product, we need a majority of the feedback. So we can't reach out to many people as we can. So how can we actually, to ask a feedback from most of the people?
See, these days it has become very easy. If somebody is, let's say you are prototyping or you are planning that this is the product you are going to make, you can have Google Forms. Or if you're living in a community, then you can go, you can ask your neighbors, you can ask the people in the community. It is an effort from you. You have to go out and seek people, right? You can ask your father's friend if it is something which is not for that age group, if it is for smaller kids, if it is for people who are not your neighbor, not in your neighborhood, you will have to seek those kind of people. Yes, maybe go to a supermarket and stand there and do your research. But you will have to put an effort. That surely there is. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, Mritul.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you are, sir.
Ma'am, I have a doubt that suppose we are in class and we are daydreaming, like we are in some other thoughts, and we need to improve our concentration. So how can we do that?
So when you are daydreaming, you have to constantly bring yourself back. Now you know that you are daydreaming, so you have to make an effort that you will bring yourself back. Okay?
Ma'am, but how? I cannot concentrate, ma'am.
You cannot concentrate. Did you listen to my class the whole time? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
You did.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
you are concentrating because this area interested you. Yes? You were interested in listening to this as to how I will do it. So, which means you either are not liking that subject, and to like that subject, I would highly suggest that you read whatever chapter your teacher is going to do with you beforehand. Make questions.
Ma'am, I read every chapter before.
Yeah. Then maybe you think that I know more than the teacher and I don't need to listen to her.
No,
Yes.
ma'am. That I don't think, ma'am. That I don't think.
Okay. But yes, you'll have to either read that chapter before and write the questions you want to ask. And as there was a question earlier that there are some people who disturb a lot in the class, that try not to be that student. Ask the teacher separately about what queries you have.
Ma'am, I am not that student.
That is good. But to focus, you have to keep
Okay,
bringing
ma'am.
your mind back. That no, I have to listen to the teacher. And start writing questions. Whatever teacher is writing, saying, start making notes. Don't listen only. Start making notes. It's very important that you make notes. Okay? Okay. Let's hear Chetan Kalech. Chetan Kalesh?
Ma'am, you said non-verbal signs are that they show interest, but they are not showing the proper body language, no, ma'am?
Yes. So how will you show proper body language? Right now, whatever videos are on, I see that everybody is listening to me. But imagine if somebody was sitting like this and talking to somebody who is on the other side. Then that is something that I know totally that that person is not listening to me. So when you are talking to somebody, or your teacher is giving you a lecture, please face the teacher, look, make eye contact, take notes, and there are lots of things which you will do to show that you are interested in listening to the person who's speaking. Okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome, Chetan. Okay. Rahul Arora.
Rahul, you can communicate. Okay. Shivangi, please unmute.
Ma'am, how we can... Sorry, ma'am.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Think we can let someone else talk until Shivangi gathers her thoughts.
Yeah.
Nabhya?
Sai Gopal.
Ma'am, I want to ask that I have a doubt on product that different people have different thoughts, and we have to like we have to listen to all the thoughts, and how can we make different products for different people?
Awesome question, Sai. So I totally understand your problem that, there are so many people with so many ideas, and you can't always have everybody's ideas. So totally. And see what you think will work. There are so many things which people are saying, I want to go to the moon. Now, right now, you can't take somebody to the moon, right? So you have to see what is in your purview. What can you do? Can you push yourself a little more and add some more features? And I'm sure in the earlier sessions they have done how to go from an idea to the product. So use those steps to get that product ready. And then again, take a feedback, go back to the drawing board and see how you can make it better. So it's always that you have to keep doing things better and yes. Does it make sense, Sai? Okay. Let's listen to Sagar, Chaitanya, and Maharishi.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Ma'am, I have a question. How we concentrate in our class?
That totally means you're not listening, Sagar. I just gave the answer to this question.
No, ma'am, I am listening, but in school we cannot concentrate like.
Why? Why cannot you concentrate?
Ma'am, because we study, then very not interesting. Like in this class, you are stud we are studying like a friend, but in class, ma'am, only.
I understand where you're coming from, Sagar. That happens, right? The teacher has to, he or she has a syllabus which they need to finish. And they can't always have this question and answer sessions with you. So that is up to you. Focus in the class, listen to your teacher, make notes, and write down the questions you have. If he or she has time during the class, ask this questions at that time. Otherwise, go separately. I know a lot of you do not go to your teachers after the class is over because you think, what will the teacher think? Teachers are waiting. This is your way of giving them feedback as well, that I didn't understand, which means other kids also didn't understand. Some teachers will take it nicely. Some teachers might get upset that why were you not listening in the class? And if you are talking to your friends or if you're creating ruckus in the class and then later going to the teacher, then that's wrong. But focus in the class, listen to your teacher, make notes, and then write questions and then ask. And you will see the teacher will start participating how we are participating right now. Okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sagar. Yeah, Chaitanya. Chaitanya, I can't hear you.
Okay. Now, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
So, ma'am, my question was that I'm speaking to someone and they are not agreeing to me. And it's on a very stupid thing. And at that moment, I get like, why do you not know this? And then they think of me as someone rude. What should I do at that moment?
Well, exactly. They must be thinking, why do you not listen to their point of view? Yes. If you either they will listen or you will listen. If that other person is not listening, now you know how to make the other person listen to you by listening to them, by seeing, thinking what they really want. And then you go ahead and think of ideas which will be a win-win situation for both of you. So let's say if your mom is saying, Chaitanya, today you can't watch TV. You have to know why she doesn't want you to watch TV. Or if your mentor is saying that this idea is not a good idea, you have to listen to why they are saying it's not a good idea. You've already made up your mind, this person will say no to me and I don't want to listen to them, which is like a curtain. It's not letting the idea go through you. And that is why you're not able to open up your mind and say, okay, this is a good idea. Maybe I should think it like that. And then you will, once you are listening to the other person will want to listen to you because you are not fighting. You are listening. You have an open mind. Okay?
I'll try to, because sometimes I just lose my temper and that's.
Yes, yeah. I think you need to have more patience. So if you use the skills, the tricks and tips we have given in this class, it will help you. Yes?
Thank you.
Okay, Maharishi and then Ishi and Shifa. Any of you, Maharishi, Ishi, Shifa, Saksham, any of you can speak? Saksham, you can't unmute yourself. Okay.
Mom, may I ask a doubt?
Yes, Arnav, please go ahead.
Mom, actually, I have two doubts. My first doubt is that you might have clarified this, but it is a bit different than what I've clarified. My friends sometimes during the class when I'm trying to concentrate, they start calling me that, hey, color this page for me, na? Just a second, please. Like that. And then when I tell I can't do that, my mom is explaining a topic to me. And at that time, I'm going to mama and asking. At that time only, they'll come and like, please, please color this, please. Like that.
So that means you must have given up, right? You must have done it for them in the past. And that is why they think you can do it. So continue saying no. And maybe before the class, you can tell them that I want to focus in the class because maybe I'm not understanding this topic and I want to understand this. And maybe help your friends also to listen to the teacher. Yes?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
Ma'am, I'm audible.
Yes, Shifa, you're audible.
Ma'am, I'm not clear in the topic prejudice.
Prejudice. So, as Chaitanya was saying, that why doesn't that other person understand what I'm trying to say? So that already she has a prejudice that this person will not agree to what I'm saying. Prejudice means that you have a preconceived notion that this person will not do something like how I'm saying, or my sibling always will say no to playing with me. So you already have a idea of what's going to happen and you don't want to try something different, or you don't want to listen to the other person's different idea.
Or if I go to ask my teacher a doubt, she's going to be angry.
Yes. Yeah.
That's already, you've decided beforehand that it won't work.
Yeah. Yes. Great. Can Tilotma, do we have time for one last question?
We do, but ma'am, I had a question. Do you mind if I cut in the line and ask?
Sure.
Could you elaborate a little more about the part where you were talking about listen to understand and not listen to react?
So lots of times, like right now, I'm like, oh, this is such a good question which Tilotma asked. So I am not thinking why Tilotma asked me this question. I had an answer ready for this, and I'm like, let me jump into it and give her an answer. So when you're listening, try to listen and understand what the other person is saying, and not that, okay, the other person is saying this and I have to quickly give an answer, or I have this answer. So many times it happens, especially in your exams. You read the first line and you start writing your answer. You do not read the second line. And the second line is just the opposite of the first line. But you have written an answer based on your first line, and the answer is all wrong. Yeah, that happens. That happens because you're not in the habit of listening calmly. You are always in a rush to give your ideas, to give your answers. Does it answer your question, Tilotma?
Yes, ma'am, it does. So the other thing was also that you were saying about basically don't come up with an answer just to impress the other person, because the best thing you can do to impress somebody is to listen to them
That's right.
carefully.
That's right. Yes. If I feel that I am being heard and you are nodding and you're asking me a relevant, good question, then I feel so good that yes, this person is really good. He or she listened to me. Yes? Okay. Great. Okay, can we have one question from either Maharishi, Ishi, or Pratiksha? Or Jagannath?
Good evening, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Um,
Ma'am, my question was that, like in the presentation, you explained the verbal signs of listening. So in that you explained paraphrasing. So could you explain it again?
So, okay. So let's say I explained to you those things, like I explained to Tilottama what it means, how to listen, to understand, and not to just answer quickly. Well, if let's say Tilottama, I ask you, what did I say? Tilottama will not say use the same words, but she will say in her own understanding, right? She might say, okay, Tilottama, I will ask you to to role play in this. Tell me what you understood by this phrase.
Which, yeah, you're going to read out a phrase? Or?
Yeah, the phrase was listen to understand and not to answer quickly. I explained you something, so now you have to paraphrase so that it's in your own words.
Yes. So what I understood from what you said was that basically, the moment you hear somebody say something, you don't jump to a conclusion, or you don't jump to say whatever you thought of saying. It's more about understanding what the other person is trying to say. That's what I figured.
Yeah, thank you. So you can use this strategy if your mentor is telling you some idea or he or she is giving you feedback. If you paraphrase what he or she has said, that person will understand if that understanding of yours to the reply is right or not. If let's say she said something else, Tilotma said something else, then I exactly know that she has not understood what my point of view is. And then I can probably think of rephrasing it so that Tilotma understands better. Yes? Okay, thank you, Tilotma. Okay. Any more questions? Oh, I see a lot of hands, but let's take this one last. It's going to be 5 o'clock, and you have a second session in 30 minutes. So let's have Maharishi or Jagannath or Pratiksha.
Hi, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. I just wanted to ask, when do you think it's the best to ask a close-ended or an open-ended question?
Oh, that's a very good question. So see, sometimes not every time you have to ask open-ended questions. It is when you seek more clarification, it is when you want to understand more, then you ask open-ended questions. Let's say when you come home and your mom asks, how was your day? You will say, good. Did you eat? Yes or no? Right? These are close-ended questions, and sometimes they are fine. But if she really wants to know what did you do in your school, then she will have to ask questions which will make you answer. Or if your mentor is there, um, if you just ask, how did you like my product? Oh, it's good. But what did you like about my product? It is then that the mentor will say his or her feedback, right? Okay. Yes.
Ma'am.
Jagannath, yes. Last question, okay?
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, my question is that if somebody advises us, should we follow first, or listen, or tell what they are doing?
Okay. You will have to listen to them first, try to understand what they're saying, and then you will put that into practice or paraphrase it. Otherwise, then again, you are jumping before even that person has finished. If you jump, then that means you're not listening. You're already ready with your answers or your questions, follow-up questions. So you need to wait, let the other person finish, and then you ask your question. Okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
Do we do we stop here, ma'am? Or
Think we should, because I'm sure they need a break to go to another session as well. And it was lovely talking to all of you. I hope you've got some tips to understand how to listen better and be a good listener so that you learn more and you are able to make wonderful products, which we all need.
thank you, Pooja Salman, ma'am. So thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to conduct the webinar today. And I also must thank Tanvi for the excellent anchoring, and of course the audience for attending and participating wholeheartedly in the webinar. Our next webinar is at 5:30 today, and that will be on the use of technologies for accessibility and transportation. And what is going to be really interesting in the next webinar is that all of you are going to use what Pooja ma'am told you just now, and you're going to take notes and you're going to listen more carefully, right? Thumbs up if you are. Okay. So yeah, during the session, we'll be talking to Ms. Naina Padaki, who is the CEO of a company that specializes in mobility solutions for elderly and differently abled people. I also sent out a video, I think, which explains what she does. So especially if you plan to take part in the ATL marathon, this session will give you insights for the mobility problem statements. Okay, so keep your book and pen handy and click on the Zoom or YouTube joining link for our next. Okay, and the link will also be shared in the WhatsApp groups. So thanks again. Thank you so much, Pooja ma'am. And we'll see you at 5:30.